If I was a girl, if I was a boy, I wouldn't hold my VJ hostage. No, no, I would be begging for some sausage from you, Cody. Oh, don't leave me lonely. Don't leave me lonely. Oh, Cody, all I wanna do is hold your hand, 'cause I don't think that you're enough man for me, Cody. I say no, say no, Cody, you better say no, say no. Sheila, Nate, break up to make up. That's what you should do. Nate, first she loves you, then she hates you. That's a game for fools. Say no. Say no. Say no. Say no. Ashley and David. Love and need and want you, baby. Love and need and want you, baby. I love and need and want you. I do. More than you ever know. It's for sure. You can always count on her sister to bug the hell out of you. Oh, your house won't be a home as long as her sister is allowed to roam. 'Cause you were not meant to live alone. She'll turn her sister's house into her own. And when you climb the stairs and turn the key, oh, the sister will be there. But Ashley wants you to still be in love with me. Yeah. But Dave, you can work that out. Hi, this is Auntie, and that is my verdict, my opinion of how The finale is going to be, those are my predictions. Welcome to Auntie's Advice, and today we are going to be talking about Married at First Sight. For me, this particular episode was just a filler. If I were to give it a letter grade, I would have to say it was about a C. There were a couple of things that happened in the episode that were a little bit noteworthy, so please forgive me if this video isn't as long as you want it to be or as long as it usually is. For me, I saw most of these couples staying together with the exception of Cody and Danielle. I think that Danielle, for her, she sees this as a us thing. She continues to deny Cody sex, touching, kissing, romance, anything. You know, they had an opportunity to go on a trip together, and where they decided to go was to Wisconsin to a brewery. How romantic is a beer brewery? Okay, and they play pool. Not very nice, not very romantic. No intention on sparking anything as far as I'm concerned. Danielle mentioned several times that we are not there. No, you are not there. And I think that it has become apparent that Danielle sees Cody as less than the man that she wants him to be. She makes many and multiple comments about how she wants him to be masculine, to take charge, and to be aggressive. And Cody, unfortunately, is not that kind of man. And it just seems like they are wearing the opposite pants in the relationship. It seems like that she's more masculine in certain areas of romance, love, and relationship than he is. And he is trying his best to take a back seat in this relationship, but this is not the kind of relationship where Cody needed to take a back seat. As we saw multiple of them mention in their confessionals that, you know, they were one way in another relationship and they don't want to be that way in this particular relationship. And I think that for all three of them, it has affected the relationship, because you know what, to thine own self be true. You have to always be true to who you are, what you are, and how you are. And if a person cannot accept you as the true, real person that you are, then that relationship is destined to end in separation, divorce, or not married at all. But anyway, these couples are married. At least for Cody and Danielle, when they leave the relationship, he can get an annulment and it can be wiped away as if it never happened, because he has not consummated the marriage. And so that is grounds for an annulment. I particularly had issue with her when she sat on the bench at the park and said that, oh God, you know, he brought up the fact that, you know, we're not having sex. Duh. What do you think that he's going to do? This man is in a loveless relationship. And although, Daniel, you want to minimize it to sex, it is not that. It is just being intimate with an individual. And I see that a lot of times you want to hold his hand. You hold children's hands. Okay? This relationship is doomed. And I'm hoping that on the night of decision that Cody walks out of the relationship. That's my prediction, that he walks out of the relationship. We'll see what happens. The next couple that I want to discuss is Sheila and Nathan. Sheila, you know, my last one, I just kind of ripped into her. And guess what? This time, I'm not, because I think that we are all done with Sheila. I think that Sheila is a very miserable person. She shows up on the basketball court. Be done with me. Just be done with me like I'm done with you. If Nate had any kahunas, if he was any kind of man, that had a little bit of rugged thuggish bone with him, you know what I'm saying, that round-the-way guy, he would have been done with her. And I think that there's a part of Nate that wants to be done with Sheila. And Sheila, sometimes you ask for, you get what you ask for. One thing about our words is that, like Nate said at the restaurant, they stay with you. And they're more hurtful than if you were to bust him in the head with the basketball, walk off into your old Lexus that was sitting on the opposite side of the basketball court, and go home. She leaves him. She comes back to the apartment. The doctor, is talking to them, the minister, elder, pastor, whoever he is, life coach or whatever he is. And he's talking to them as they're sitting there. And Nate is apologized now for the 150 billionth time. And she still won't accept it. She makes all these excuses about what Nate is and what he's not doing, how he said something. He took an opportunity to say something to her. And I'm saying to myself, but Sheila, you not perfect, boo. You said things too. You called this man a bitch, okay, on national television. So how do you think that anything that you did was above what this man has done? You both slung mud. And a lot of times in relationships, that's what you do. And it's because you feel like you are powerless in the relationship. Words start to come in and you start to hurt and damage one another. One of the things that I don't agree with is saying hurtful things while you are angry. I've learned over my years is to, one of the things I've learned over the years is to be able to walk away from the conversation, from the situation, so that I don't say something. However, I don't walk away and move out. And I think that the only reason why your marriage has lasted, Sheila and Nathan, as long as it has, is because you have had the experts. Without the experts, I believe that your relationship will be doomed in a month. Because Sheila is the type of person who is self-righteous and walking in self-indignation and thinks that she is above him. She makes more money than him. She lived in a better neighborhood than him. And so she sees herself as a superior in the relationship. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with buckling down and saying, you know what, you are my king. I always hear him call her his queen, but I've never heard her say that you're my king. And I think that creates an environment where they're unequally yoked. They don't believe the same thing. They don't respect one another in the same way. And I just think that Nate should say no on decision night. I don't know. Tell me what you all think. I think he should say no. I'm out of here. Adios, amigos, because the arguments turn into nothing. They sit at a table at a restaurant. Okay, now, so this was supposed to, let me slow down. This episode was supposed to be the second honeymoon. Two of the couples did take a second honeymoon, but because Sheila and Nate was going through so much drama and so much trauma, they didn't even get a chance to take a second honeymoon. The only thing that they did was eat at a restaurant because there was so much drama going on. She comes back. He tells her that he's sorry again. And then, he gives her this plan. He says this really, nice thing. And she says, I want to be with your wife if you'll have me. And Nate's like, I love you. And she's like, kiss me. Please, go ahead. Hurry up. Kiss me already. It's not about the sex. It's not about the feel good, Sheila. It's not about that. It's about making your relationship last outside of that bedroom. The bedroom isn't anything because guess what? At the end of the day, any woman can give him sex and make him feel good, including me. So it's not about the sex. What it's about is having a loving, lasting relationship where you communicate and honor and respect one another. And though Nate said that he said some mean things about your past boyfriends, you also said some very demeaning things to him. And you know what? I'm afraid that, you've lost a lot of respect from me as a result of that. And I just, I can't get with you, sis. I can't get with you. She says, sits at the table and she tells Nate, on decision night, I'm not going to beg no man, beg you to be with me. Like, who does that? You do that. Every time you leave and every time you have to come back, you know what? You get weaker and weaker and you don't realize it. You think that there's strength in running away, but there's strength in staying. And there's more respect and love in staying than it is in running away. And so you'll learn. You'll learn when you lose that good man called Nate. The man who admonishes you and loves you as his wife. And I ain't going to feel sorry for you. Not one little bit. The last couple we want to talk about is Dave and Ashley. Lord Jesus, help me, God. I believe that Dave is going to be the only man that stays in his relationship. And I think that they're going to try to make it work as long as they can. Ashley, believes that she's made all these compromises. She talked, they beginning the episode where they ended with them arguing about the lease and her wanting him to, fill out the application for the apartment and order Chinese food at the same time and look at the menu. And so, she admits that she's been nagging him. She gets up, she closes the door and everything, and he goes in because he's the type of guy that whatever it takes to make her smile, that's what he's going to do. He's such a sweet, genuine guy. But he's with a girl who is just not ready for this kind of relationship. She's not in a position to meet him where he is in the compromising department. She believes that she has. She believes that she's not pressuring her husband. She believes that she's open. Every time they go somewhere, it's a big deal with her not wanting to do things. He says he wants her to be led by, the adventure of it instead of being led by fear. Everything that she does is led by fear. He has a little tent. They go camping. And he has a little tent because she doesn't want to camp, so he gets a cabin for him. But he creates a little tent with a little romance and some lights and some chocolate and champagne and all of that kind of stuff. And she comes out and she's all for that. I mean, she's just grinning and giggly and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just wondering, when is it that, I guess for all the couples, you all, I'm wondering, when are the women going to step up their romance game? Romance doesn't always have to be on the behalf of the man. It doesn't have to be the man that's all the time giving up the romance. I just totally disagree with that. I believe that women should be able to romance their men and show their men that they like them and love them just as much. I don't know, what's going on with it, but it is what it is. So anyway, they go to a restaurant, they have dinner at the restaurant, and the apartment comes up. And at that point, Dave tries to open up his heart and open up his mouth and say that, he compromised on this apartment. And she's saying, well, my sister can't wait to, come over and use my clothes. And so, automatic for Dave, that's a sign. But you know what, boo? You messed up, because what you ended up doing was compromising and telling her, yup, we can live in the same apartment building with your sister. She's like, it's too late for him to make a decision one way or the other, or whether or not we're going to be together. To me, this was just a filler episode again. So I'm like skimming through this particular review. I apologize for being late. I have been having my home remodeled, and so there's been a lot of stuff going on, as you all can see. But I thank you all for being here. My prediction is that Dave and Ashley stays together, but that marriage doesn't last any longer than a year. I believe that Nate is going to back out of this relationship with Sheila, or at least that's what I'm praying that he does. And I believe that Cody's going to walk away from Danielle, as I believe that we all feel like he should. This has really been one of those years where it hasn't been anything out of the norm from the other year, but this particular episode for me gets to see. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your predictions are for next week, on whether or not these couples stay together, or whether or not they get a divorce, or in Cody's case, an annulment, boo. Love y'all. Bye. Mwah. Thanks so much for patiently waiting.